What's up? You're walking into my shot, just so you know.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm live. Should I put you on there?
No.
You are. Look at. What's up, Blake? How's the snow out by you? Why is my screen blurry? Yeah, I see him live, UP. Mike Horton says hi, Elaine. She's crabby today, so she's not going to want to be on camera. Always refreshing and never duplicated. How's that Mordor you guys got? It looks like it's going to be a fun car. I do notice that the days are getting lighter as they go on. So that means spring is not that far away. I mean, what do we got now? A half a month of January, and then February and March. March is always a wimpy part of winter anyway, so. "18 inches. What state are you in, Mike? You must be out east, I would think. It's 60 days till spring. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Buffalo, outside of Niagara Falls. That's where the E4 Niagara Falls is where the E4OD trans brake was invented. And when he saw his mother, Niagara Falls. That's an ongoing inside joke around these. Never fear, the Dougster is queer. You typed that wrong, Dougie. Oh, it says here, not queer. Yeah, I know. Last time I was at the shop. Hey, were you really sitting in my chair to see what it feels like when I was gone? Dougie was sitting at my desk just like he was the king. He was the Val Body King of Chicago. What's up, Wendy? How you doing? Unfinished projects got a rainbow going on. And the hardest working man in the internet. Busted Burrito Garage. Man, that guy he cranks out the work on those cars. Unbelievable. I wish I had his body. I probably will be working more. Is Mama D not Wendy? I thought that's who that was. No? Do I have that wrong? Well, I don't know who Mama D with a small 3 is. So, anyways, if anybody wants to know, if someone tells me how to put the link up there where you guys can come in, I know Dougie will talk your ear off. Right now, as we speak, the engine compartment of the Coronet's getting primered and possibly painted tomorrow. So I'm quite excited about having the Coronet with the red engine compartment again. Oh, I gotcha. I was supposed to take the hood hinges over there last night so he can paint the engine compartment and the hood hinges. I'm going to put a hinged hood back on the car. I'm not going to have that lift-off hood. The lift-off hood's a pain in the ass. You always got some place you have to keep it, and you end up not knowing where the rear hood pins are at all the time. It's a pain. What's the update on the SFI cases? Well, I made the modifications to the case, and right now they're having the Chinese New Year. So that means they're closed for how long, I don't know. And so they are in the process of making a new mold, which is a machine mold. They don't use casted molds, they use machine molds, which probably explains why the cases look so nice. So the sorry I called you Wendy, Colleen. The cases, I would imagine I should be able to have one to inspect probably by the 13th. No, by the 1st of February, if I remember correctly. It all depends. It's in their hands now. It's all when they get me a case. And they're in China, I'm in Indiana, and there's a huge language barrier. You be here 4 hours. You must go. Why don't you just use your regular name, Colleen? I see you in the chat, but I didn't know you changed that. What's up, J-Bo? Hey, J-Bo, my guy quit, so I got an opening if you want to come down and make some money. You want to build some transmissions for me? I've seen all those cars in your front yard. That must be, do you own the parking lot across the street from where your house is? Which is really cool because your house has all that wood floors and the wood trim around the doorways and stuff. That's a cool old house. I should go down there and hang out with you guys for a weekend. Maybe me, Jeff, and Dougie can jump in the Ram and find an Airbnb over there by you guys. But we'd have to go in the springtime so you can take us on the Mississippi River. Take us for a boat ride. And Blake can be the skipper. Post the link at our new house. Dougie says he's so there. If we go, Dougie, you have to drive. I'll be the behind-the-scenes camera guy. All right, someone tell me how I could post in the chat from where I'm at. If anybody knows, I'm on my cell phone. I'm not on my computer, so this is the first time I've been on here like this. What did everybody have for breakfast? Mama made me dippy eggs, toast, and sausage. You don't recommend driving while hanging out with you guys? I don't drink, Blake. I can hang out with you guys and be just fine. RTG. Yeah, it would be cool to hang out there. I would like to be by HQ. You know, the battery HQ looks fucking cool. And I should have went down there for your little New Year's Eve party. That looked like a bunch of fun. Dougie, you know I can drive, right? You ever see all those trophies in my office? You know what those are for? Driving. That's for skilled driving. Oh, shit. Remove the tag. So it's Sunday, and it's a typical I'm bored off my ass day. So I'm not really a live kind of a person, but I figured it'd be easy to talk to all you guys without texting each one of you individually. Chris is going back to work. That guy, man, I tell you what, man. I don't think Chris sleeps. He's always working on something over there. Plus, he has to make time to edit all those videos. Let's see if I can do something here. How do you guys edit your all your stuff on your phone, your videos? I'll never know how. That is so. I gotta have a PC to do that. It's just a pain in the ass. No, I was trying to text you at the same time, Dougie, so it's your fault. I edit. Yeah, but you don't make long videos. All you do is make little shorts. Do a half-hour video on your phone and see how good you do. I mean, Jeff does it. I don't know how Jeff does it like that. So we had a warm spell here. I'm looking out the window and all the snow is melted. Hi, Butters. You guys want to see my dog, Butters? Say hi, Butter. Butter, you're live. Is there a button on the bottom of the stream? Yeah, and every time I try to go touch another button, I ended up kicking myself out of the studio. So F it. I'm not going to be up here long anyways. I just wanted to, this is like an easy way to say hi to everyone and see what everybody's up to. I don't know if anyone heard if you came in late, but my Coronet's being primered right now. The engine compartment should be done primering, and then tomorrow he's going to paint it. He even went as far as to take the K member off so we can paint everything underneath the frame rails and the core support and stuff. So it should turn out nice. I'm kind of excited about it. Not that I'll, here again, I think I'm going to be ahead of the game in the summertime. I'll get the car back. I still have to put a cam in the 440 for the Power Wagon, and then get the Coronet running, and then fix my boat because I broke the skeg off the bottom of it, which I'm just fixing it so I can get rid of it and get a pontoon boat. But every time I think I'm gonna make some strides or I plan to do stuff, then another asshole quits on me. I had this guy who wasn't the greatest, but he was okay. He said he worked at a transmission shop, which was bullshit because they didn't even know how to put a torque converter in. But I'm like, fine, okay, I'll go through all the trouble and I'll show you, how to do stuff. And then we were not forced, but it's required by law from the state of Indiana to deduct child support from this dude's check. Well, after you have 150 or some bucks worth of child support and you drive in 45 minutes to get there and your wife makes more than you do, maybe he didn't think it was worth it to go to work. He come up with some bullshit. Oh, my shoulders hurt. I got to go see a doctor. And then he called off. Anytime anybody calls off on a Monday for any reason, they get paid on Friday, it's a guarantee he's going to quit or the call-offs are going to be more and more. So now that this guy officially quit, got his tools out of there, I'm the only mechanic. I'm the only tech. And I have to do everything. I'm not crying about it. I'm just saying what it is, If I have to work, an 8 to 9, sometimes 10-hour day, and I can't go 10 hours anymore. And then like, okay, get the Coronet running, get the Power Wagon running. I just don't see it happening now, not unless I find a good technician. Signature Series 4, 904. Dougster, we need half-hour videos. I enjoy making videos. They're fun. I like the creativity of it, Plus, it's different than building transmissions and valve bodies all day long. It's kind of nice to have something different to do. I didn't come out with a video this weekend because I was working all by myself, at least, in the shop. I mean, the girls are still there. Elaine does the office and Maddie does the parts room. Yeah, I wish everybody could help. It's almost like a curse. I remember when I had my I had a Transmatic shop too. I was in my 20s when I opened it, and it was a few years after my dad closed his shop. And my dad actually worked for me at that shop, and I had that place for about 4 years or so. And I came across the picture of it the other day, and it had a sign in the garage door that said, help wanted. And it reminded me why I closed that shop, because I was there all by myself. And you almost got to be careful. Something happens, or, lifting transmissions on and off the jack into the bench, or if you need just a hand lifting a transfer case up in the truck, it's impossible to do it by yourself. So I said, fuck it. And I closed it and went to go work for another transmission shop, which has a team. Everybody in a transmission shop is a team. You have office workers, you have the builder, you have a swingman. A swingman would build an R&R, and then you'd have the R&R. R&R is remove and install. Do I prefer solid or flex bands for higher horsepower application? I like the flex, because the solid bands sometimes don't seem to contour to the drum as nice as a flex band, even though the drums are supposed to be perfectly round. If you ever look at some flex or some solid bands, they always have like that one little weird burn mark, a real skinny one all the way around, but you never get that with the flex band. So I like the flex bands better. I ran a flex band in my blue 63 car that ran 10 flat all day long. I never broke one. But then you'll have a guy in a 13-second car that oh, there's the fan. Anybody like my fan? That a 13-second car that'll break the struts off of a flex band. I mean, they both work fine. The new solid bands I have, I like them for diesel and towing applications, because the band is actually 250 thousandths wider than a stock solid band and a stock flex band. So I actually have your transmission done. That E4OD is done. The only thing I have to do is put the valve body on it and oil pan, and it's ready to ship out next week. So there's another thing, I'm like, might have to get the cherry picker in the build room to get the E4OD, which is a monster heavy ass transmission, off the push cart and onto the workbench. And my workbenches are 6 inches taller than stock. I put wooden blocks underneath the workbench, so I'm not bending over all the time. I can either sit in my stool or stand up straight, and it seemed to save my back. So yeah, Flyer. I tell you what, when I was in my 20s, I could rattle off 25 people I knew in the in the transmission business, and now I only know a handful of people. I mean, in my area, people that I knew or hung out with. I know people out in different parts of the country that are in the transmission business, but they're all dying off. No, you're right, Twisted. No one wants to work. This last guy that just quit on me, I was paying him what I was paying Lucas, and he wasn't building nothing, where Lucas was building transmissions and valve bodies. So, stepping up to the plate to pay people, it doesn't mean shit. You can give people $50 an hour, and they're gonna still try and screw you over and talk on their fucking cell phones and take 5 fucking craps a day or sneak outside for cigarettes. I just need one guy for what I do. I bet you I turned down at least in the beginning of the year when I knew I was backed up. I bet you I turned down about 10 or 11, excuse me, transmission builds. I just turned them down. I'm like, I just can't do it no more. You know, I, with the valve body part of the business doing so good, and we build literally even by myself. The way I'm going now, there's sometimes, I can easily knock out 4 to 6 valve bodies by lunch if I'm not on the phone. Have I tried talking to a local tech school? I've hired young guys in their 20s before, and it's a big different generation. When I was, I don't know, 12 years old, I had a mini bike, I had a snowmobile, I had bicycles, I made choppers. I knew how to hold a wrench. I knew my wrench sizes. I knew the difference between a screwdriver and a Phillips. These kids today, they don't even know how to hold the tool right. Did you ever see anybody try to eat spaghetti with chopsticks? You know how awkward that's got to be? When I see these kids hold the tool like an axe, and I'm like, that's not how you hold a wrench. And you want me, so when you teach these young guys, you're starting off from scratch. It's not like, us where we worked in gas stations and, did everything mechanically. These kids today, for except for a few, don't know shit. What's up, Jeffro? So yeah, training kids today. Not only that, the kids today, they cannot live without their fucking cell phones. They have to have that on there. I've gone round and round and round with young kids on their phone, and I I mean I don't think it's right to be having your girlfriend call 1,000 times a day while you're over there working on a car, and you got your cell phone on. And so then I sell I put my foot down on the cell phone rule. Then everybody's got fucking earbuds. And what's next? Smoke signals. I mean, even my own kid doesn't. Johnny doesn't want to work at the shop. So I don't know. Yeah, it's hard finding anybody worth the fucking. And once you do, I mean, I had high hopes for Lucas, but he got offered crazy big money to go work at a dealer. So I let him go. What are you gonna do? You know. Okay, go. Hi, this here. This here. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I'm probably, I'm gonna, I mean, I've been pretty firm about backing off on transmissions, doing transmissions and stuff, because You know, when you have a shop, you have to have a well-oiled team. I'm an older guy. I don't move around as good as I used to. I can, I can work an 8-hour day, but man, I can't work those 12, 13-hour days anymore. I don't have it in me, you know. Jeff, even if you lived across the street, it wouldn't make no difference because I will not hire a friend. I learned that from the last kid. You cannot be a friend and a boss at the same time. It just doesn't work. So, I mean, if anybody that I knew come up to me and wanted a job, I probably wouldn't hire them if I know them. Because not that I'm a hard guy to work for, but you got to draw that line, that distinctive line. Same when you're a landlord. You certainly don't want to rent out like I have rentals at the shop. You don't want to rent out that place to someone because they'll see how much they can take advantage of you. I mean, I here again, I'm not a hard person to get along with. At least I don't think I am. But it's you. I heard my best friend Chris. He was hurting for dough. I mean, he was hurting. So I told him, I says, well, fuck, come up here for 30 days. Okay. Just work for me for 5 days a week for 1 month, and I'll be able to pay you enough to get back on your feet. By the end of that 30 days, I could not shove him on that airplane quick enough. And I'm not saying anything for him. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to be, it's hard to be a boss, which I fucking hate. I hate it. I hate being a boss. I'd rather just hire a manager. I just want to go in that build room, sit down, and build transmissions, build valve bodies, and not answer the phone and let someone run the joint. That's where I shine. I can work really good and get a lot done, but when you're the owner, you have to put out fires. You are the one helping everybody with their job. Then you have to do your job. So it sucks. But shop's closed, so that's enough shop talk. Move south. No, I would never move south. I mean, I wouldn't mind going down there. I know this is gonna sound weird to some of you guys, but I love the wintertime. I love the snow. I used to go snowmobiling all the time. I used to go skiing all the time. I love it when we have white Christmases. I don't like it when it's zero and it's super, super cold, but I enjoy the snow. I enjoy this change of seasons. I would love to go visit down south. I haven't been to Florida since the 70s. And which is another thing about not having anyone there is I basically got to close the shop if I want to go do anything or go anywhere. You don't have snow like we do. No. I would never move. I mean, even though this is where I live now, this is home. My children grew up in this home. I don't really have a lot of friends, but I've left home before, and it was the worst thing I ever did. I regretted every freaking minute of it. And when I moved, I was homeless. I didn't have no place to stay. So my dad was living in Colorado Springs, and I actually went there or 3 months, and I fucking hated it. I left my girl behind. I left Elaine behind. She waited for me. I drove my 68 Chrysler 300 to Colorado Springs and back on polyglass tires. So, I will never move away from home. Even though I'm in Indiana now, you know, I'm only about a half hour from downtown Chicago. And I didn't grow up in Chicago. I was the south suburbs. But later, Blake, it was good talking with you, buddy. I can't even tell how many people are actually in here. It says 22. I gotta bounce. He's got a bouncy bounce in his backyard. Is that what he means by that? So I got a couple ads out there that I'm looking. I don't know. We do background checks on everybody. You know, Elaine is a detective. If you ever want to know anything about yourself, if you want to find any skeletons in your closet, just give me your name and your social. I'll have Elaine look up everything on you, man. I tell you what, she's a detective. But yeah, I cannot tell you how many people we put an ad out on Indeed for a week, and it was like $300, and we got, you know, 55-year-old men or whatever, like, well, you know, it's been like 9 years now since I had a job. I think it's about time I get back into the workforce. I'm like, no, dude, that is not going to fly. Uncle Eddie or Cousin Eddie hasn't found a job in 7 years. Ellen says he's been waiting for a management position. Then the people we would get, they would all have felonies. I won't hire anybody with a felony. You know, I mean, it'd have to be like 30 years old for something stupid he did as a kid. But when you're in your 50s and you got a 3-year-old felony, I have a higher standard. You know, I just rather do it myself. But other than that, Friday, I really enjoyed being there by myself because the phones weren't ringing. And I'm just sitting there knocking out valve bodies. I put that E4OD together. All I got left to do is put the valve body in and it's ready to go. I just rather be an employee. If I was doing what I'm supposed to be doing and being the manager or the shop owner, and that's all I did was run the shop, that might be a different story. But when you're running the shop and you're an employee and you're everybody's helper and you're everybody's manager, there's some days you're spread thin where you feel like you're getting pulled in all different directions, you know. UP, you know a felon? Oh yeah. Your felon is my felon. You know, how could you be a felon if you've never served 1 day in jail? That felony that they put on Trump is a crock of shit. I wear it as a badge of honor. It's 1925, the end of an era. Yeah, it is. I seen today too on Fox that I seen a lot of illegal aliens are they're leaving on their own, and that there's a ceasefire in Gaza, and Hamas is letting they let 3 women go today, and they're supposed to let them all out by tomorrow. This guy hasn't even taken office yet. And look how the world has changed from just a week ago. It's unbelievable. It's because he's going to do what he says. He's not a weak stick like Biden, you know. And really, Biden's just a front man. There's someone behind him pulling all the strings, Obama or whoever, who knows. But it was an overwhelming majority that the American people in all states and by the popular vote rejected liberalism. Totally rejected it. You hear that, Dizzy? Yeah, Biden is right. I have big hopes for Vance too. So I hope that the vice president doesn't turn rhino like the last one did. Who was our governor here in Indiana? Third term would be legendary. Obama's third term. I see. Is that Gino? Gino Bazzi? You're not Gino from. Is that the Trans-O-Matic Gino? No, that's not his last name, is it? Gino, do you own Trans-O-Matic in Chicago? I can't tell if that's you or not. It is him, man. Gino is badass. He owns a shop in Chicago called Trans-O-Matic, and I knew about his shop when I was like 13 or 14 years old. My father told me about it. When we would go on vacation, my dad would always pull out like a phone book and look in the transmission section, and we would look for the names. And there was a Transmatic in there somewhere in Michigan or something. And he told me, he goes, yeah, there's a Trans-O-Matic in Chicago. And his father, Gino's father, started that business. So he's the second generation owner operator, just like I am. Gino's totally badass, guys. And he sent me such a nice swag bag of all this really cool Trans-O-Matic stuff, hats and pens and stickers and mouse pads and shirts, and it all came in a Trans-O-Matic bag. That was totally cool. Totally cool. Good person. I never met him yet. I'm hoping to. I should, you know what I should do? I should go out there and do a video on his business. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. I know I would. You know, that'd be cool to see. What's up, One-Eyed Cat? He started it in 1965. That was the year I was born. My dad started his Transmatic in 1970, 5 years later. My dad used to go to Complete Auto Parts right at the end of the Skyway in Chicago on Stony Island. Yeah, it would be cool, Jeff, wouldn't it? If you guys get a chance, Google Trans-O-Matic. Is that the west side or the north side that he's on? I'm not sure, but he owns a place called Trans-O-Matic. And he's got a really cool sign in the shop. I've seen the pictures of his shop and stuff like that. Go check it out. It's really neat. I didn't know he was on YouTube. That's why I was questioning if that was him or not. It's in Des Plaines, Illinois. Okay. The west side. Yeah. Yeah. I don't get it. What's your favorite food out there in Des Plaines? Pizza, hot dogs, beef? And tell them, I try to tell everybody, they think that Chicago is known for their deep dish pizza. And we always got to remind them that the deep dish is only for out of towners, people that come and visit, that the local Chicagoans or the true Chicagoans eat thin crust. It's the same, anything Italian. Yeah. It's this almost the same as New York, but New York pie is cut in pie shapes, and Chicago pie is cut in squares. Oh, I gotta reposition myself here. Yeah, I bet your family makes good meatballs. Yeah, they call that bar pie. Yep. Yes, Des Plaines is a city, not a street. I'm sure there's a Des Plaines Avenue, though. He's also got a cool Facebook page on Trans-O-Matic. I know not everybody does the Facebook thingy, you know. I know no one's doing TikTok. Supposedly Trump's going to fix that. Not that I care. I never go on TikTok. And you know, I'm not a big Facebook person, but I like nostalgic stuff. And there's always a lot of cool information. It's not just, you know, posting pictures of going on vacation or whatever. I like the, you know, when people post old pictures or videos, and you know, you see old school pictures and shit like that. Supporting all illegal aliens who are here illegally. 52% of people approve that. What's up, Kyle? How's it going by you? I didn't know that CapCut or CapCut got shut down too. I actually deleted that app off my phone because it kept on putting up pop-up commercials all the time, and cut it off. I'm surprised Dean's up. What is it, midnight by you? Building a 47RH. Nice. I enjoy building transmissions. That's all I did. It's 9:27 on Monday in Australia. That's weird. He's already started his week. Can you get a forward shift manual at Trans-O-Matic? I don't know. I think Gino doesn't dabble too much in high performance stuff. I think he does. Oh, I didn't. I thought you were in Australia. Gino just does like late model stuff. He also has a parts warehouse under a different name. So he's got one business that's a transmission parts depot where he sells new rebuilt transmission parts and torque converters and clutches and stuff. Yeah, I didn't know Dean was from New Zealand. Is there any difference? Yeah, UP. I had two cars sitting side by side, and one was a forward manual and one was a reverse manual, and you drove one and drove the other, you would know the difference between the two. I mean, you'd feel the difference. If you get out the forward manual, you'd be skipping out of it like a little girl. But if you got out of the reverse manual, you'd be like, ah. Dougie, is there still snow by you? Did all your snow melt? Yeah, he doesn't mean manual as in stick shift, Gino. He means a valve body that is manually shifted only. They make them in reverse and forward pattern. Well, I ain't gonna make it too much longer. I just got a ding on my phone that I'm down to 14% before the battery dies. There's 2,500 miles between Australia and New Zealand. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't think you would, Gino. What you have is strictly late model stuff. You know, I bought that 425 Eldorado transmission, and it's just sitting over there waiting for me to do a video on it. I can't wait to do it. I just can't get over there on Sunday. I like to spend the time at home. And now with me being the sole employee at CRT, I don't know when I'm going to get to that. Or the other million things I got on my schedule. Yeah. All right, Kyle's asking a trans question when we're closed, but I'll answer it. Kyle asked, why, with your 4-speed manual valve body, does it not have a neutral unless you get the trans brake? Because I added 4th gear to the shift pattern, and there's only 6 detents on there, which would be park. The stock detents would be park, reverse, neutral, 1st gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear. If it was a 3-speed, so if I take away neutral, I have move up 1st gear, move up 2nd gear, move up 3rd gear, and then add 4th gear. So there's not enough detents in the rooster comb. There's not enough swing. So the reason why if you get just the reverse manual, you don't have a neutral because that's where reverse is. However, if you get the trans brake, then you do have a neutral, and then you hit the button to back up. So let's say you wanted to get a reverse manual with neutral and you didn't want a trans brake, you can simply hook up the trans brake to your reverse lights. So this way, every single time you go into reverse or neutral, it would go into reverse automatically. Then you'd have a kill switch. So if you wanted to check your transmission fluid in neutral, you would shut off the trans brake, the power to the trans brake, and check your fluid in neutral. So I recommend that you get it with the trans brake, even though you don't want to use the trans brake for competition or anything like that. And then just hook it up to the reverse lights and it'll come on automatically. I hope that answered your question. How much, another question here. I just joined your channel. How much horsepower can a C6 generally take? You're very welcome, Kyle. I would say comfortably, if you had the billet drums, and you got a good valve body, that you should be able to put 800 horsepower to that transmission, no problem at all. And hopefully it would be in a 3,300 or lighter pound car or truck. C6 is a strong trans. Yep, C6 is a real good trans. I make a valve body for the C6 overdrive called the E4OD. I'm down to 13% of my phone, so I'm probably gonna, I'll cut out when it's exactly in an hour, which is in 4 minutes. I just got out of the shower and I was bored. So I thought I'd just fuck it, go on the live for a little bit. It's either that or watch Fox News and then listen to my Led Zeppelin. John has all the knowledge and the good stuff. I'm a dumbass, but thanks, Gino. You're a pretty sharp cookie yourself there, buddy. Did I wash behind my ears? Yeah. So did. I even shaved. This way I don't look like a bum. Brush my chops. Yeah, okay. Did you take, Dougie, did you take your wife out for dinner last night? I told you Sundays are for girlfriends. Or no, Fridays are for girlfriends and Saturdays are for wives. Yeah, we are the dinosaurs of the industry. Did you know, Gino, did you know Dan Franzak? He was the general manager of the Motra stores. I remember working for Dan at the Multi-State Transmissions in Blue Island, and that's where I met him. And then he became a real bigwig with Motra until Motra had all the scams. They were ripping people off left and right. I still keep in touch with him. He's down in Texas now, managing an Amco. He's another dinosaur in the business. All right, it's 58 minutes. So the lights are on in the bar, and this is last call. Stay in and watch the Lions game. Well, at least you made some good food for her. Roast and potatoes. Last night me and Elaine picked up pizza at Aurelio's, and while we were in the Aurelio's parking lot, they also have a couple commercial buildings in that same parking lot. We seen that White's Pit Stop had moved to Cedar Lake. And as soon as I got home and I slapped the pizza down on the table, I read your text, Dougie, that you were talking about watching Roadkill at White's Pit Stop. That was kind of weird. You damn right it's the sauce. Oh, it was good. I had a couple slices for breakfast too. It's always better the next day out of the fridge. Oh, My God. Oh, it is such good pizza. That's no wonder I'm a fat fuck. All right, it's officially been 1 hour, and my phone has got 9%. So I wanted to say hi. I was bored. I'm not a live guy, but I figured, Kim and Buff are sucking up all the lives all the time. I might as well get my ass out there and do one. So, Gino, it was good to talk to you, my friend. I wish you a good year. You definitely got 4 good years coming to you with our convicted felon who's going to be running the joint. And we'll talk to everybody soon. Thanks for coming in, and I hope I can get out here without screwing this up. So have a nice Sunday. We'll see all you guys later.